Ephemeral environments, or why you should drop, delete, and then recreate your environments regularly. Welcome to tSQLt Live DevOps Edition. I started this video series to talk about what DevOps is, how to get started, why it is important, and also some more advanced topics. So no matter where you are at in your DevOps journey, there's something for you here. So let's take a look at ephemeral environments. And what I mean with ephemeral environments is environments that you can, well, drop and then recreate with the press of a button. Generally, you talk about infrastructure as code in that context. So you have code, you have a script that allows you to recreate your environment. And the advantages you get when you do that is, well, if you mess an environment up, say a development environment or a testing environment, it's not a problem at all. You just press that button and you have a new environment freshly set up. Potentially even in production, if you have a good DR strategy, that might involve dropping all your servers and recreating them, particularly, well, only if you are living in the cloud. So dropping all your servers, recreating them, restoring the database, and you're back up and running. Even in a different zone, potentially on a different cloud provider. So even in production, having infrastructure as code can be a significant advantage. There are no surprises. Once you created an environment like that, you know exactly what you got because it's coming directly from source control. You don't have to wonder if there's anything that happened beforehand, anything that somebody else or yourself did to the environment that might now cause side effects, alter testing outcomes, and so on. Along those lines, everybody gets the same. If I create an environment to develop in and a coworker creates an environment to develop in, we can be sure that we have the same environment. Well, not literally the same, but two environments that look absolutely the same. And there cannot be any drift, which you might see that as a disadvantage, but I see that as an advantage. Also along those same lines, you cannot have old, forgotten changes in an environment like that if you create it fresh from source control. So there are a lot of advantages. Let's look at if there are any disadvantages. There is maintenance. Now you need to maintain an image or a script. So what I mean with that is you can either have infrastructure as code, so a script that scripts out building the environment that executes the step needed to set up the environment, or maybe you have a virtual machine that needs to look a specific way, and instead of scripting that, you can just create an image. Either way, script or image need to be maintained. There are new skills involved that your team needs to learn. And, well, because it is ephemeral, any changes you make, if you don't check them into source control, they will be lost the next time the environment is created. But then also that is a good thing because you will notice that you have made a change that didn't make it into source control. And if you do that often enough, then the rework isn't that bad. So not only do you know that what your environment looks like, you know what to expect there, but also should you make the mistake that you make a change and don't check it in, that will be caught quickly, because a change like that doesn't stick around. the next time that environment gets recreated. So where should you have those ephemeral environments? Definitely in your development environment, definitely in your CI environment. I said that before. Anytime you run the CI pipeline, you want to recreate the environment. Depending on what you're doing, you might have specific software installations stick around, like instead of dropping the database server, you might just drop the database, but you should definitely drop the database. And depending on what you are doing, also drop the database server. For example, for the tSQLt CI pipeline, we drop all this. We create new instances of SQL Server, and then at the end of the script, we drop them again. So anytime that CI pipeline runs, we have fresh, out-of-the-box SQL servers. Several, because it's tested on all versions of SQL Server. So that is all I had for you today. Thank you for showing up. If you have any comments about this or any questions, please leave them below. If you would like to see more content like this, please subscribe. Thanks for watching and have a fabulous day.